Marriage is better than I expected. A lot of times, because of what we see on social media, a lot of people are just like, marriage is a scam. I've seen that a lot. People say marriage is a scam and all of that. But for me personally, marriage has been better than I thought it would be. I like the fact that there's always somebody that when I have to make a decision, there's someone I can confide in. There's someone I can ask, what color do you think I should pick? Should I pick the pink or I should pick the blue? There's always somebody to come back to gist with. There's always somebody to, small gossips here and there.
When I was 3 years old, her mom was pregnant with her. Her mom and my mom were friends. And so she was at my house one day, and then I walked up to her and touched her stomach and said, "You will give birth to a girl, and the girl will be my wife." And then a year after, they made us take a picture, on her birthday. I don't know if I can show you the picture. So they made us take this picture, right? And then we didn't grow up together. So we just used to see each other from afar and all that. And then we started talking, after some time, I broke up with the girl I was seeing, and then we started dating. And as time went on, I fell in love with this young woman here. And it was time to pay the dowry, because I asked her father, "Can I marry your daughter?" He said, "Why not? We have been friends, and I think I can trust you and your family because I know your family." And then when it was time to pay the dowry, that's when I knew that it was real, because my mom told the story there. I said, if they were joking, they wouldn't be joking until the time of paying the dowry. If you wanted me to get married to this lady, you would not be joking until the time. I've already agreed. Why continue lying? So she said the story there, and that's when it was really real to me that these things actually happened. As a young chap, I said this, and now prophecy has been fulfilled.
When I got married, I was quite young. I was 23. And the truth is, I wasn't looking to get married at all. And so when marriage came, I was like, okay. And I was not praying for a husband. When people say, they've been praying all their lives for their husband, God, give me a husband. I have never in my life prayed to have a husband, or let's say prayed for my husband. I've never prayed that prayer before. And so when he came, I just agreed to marry him. I don't know, I had a conviction in my heart. I knew that he was the person for me, and then I agreed to marry him. And so far, so good. He's a good guy. He's God-fearing. Um, he's he's very patient and very forgiving. I always say it, I'm not the most patient person. I easily get impatient and agitated, but he's always there. He's so patient. And I was telling my friends on Sunday about how somebody came to the filling station and just came to shunt and entered our front. And I was like, why would this guy enter our front? And he was like, don't worry, don't mind him. And the truth is, I didn't listen that day. I went and spoke to the guy. I said, Oga, why did you enter our front? Didn't you see us? And all of that. It's just an example of how patient he is. I think if he was like me, maybe the marriage would have scattered by now. But he's a very patient man. He's a loving man. And he always puts me and the children first. Even though I don't think he knows, but it's something that I really, really appreciate about him.
She's very faithful. She's a very, very faithful woman. And her faithfulness shows in all areas of her life, in finances, in being loyal as a spouse, in taking care of our children, in being submissive. She's faithful to me as a person and to the call of God on my life. She has never argued about anything that God told me to do.
I won't say I'm enduring at all, because when people say they're enduring, it means they are suffering, right? And I won't say I'm enduring. Marriage is not completely like a time of enjoyment. There are times when, we have a little disagreement. There are times when things are not as easy as we want them to be. But then there's no form of endurance in our marriage. Our marriage has been great so far, except for, we're human beings. Sometimes we disagree, but then the good thing is that we always come back and then we reconcile our differences?
The first year we got married, I went to seek the face of the Lord just about 2 months or so into the marriage. So maybe, let's say 3 months, because it was approaching December, and I wanted to seek the Lord for the next year. What should I do, Lord? How should I go about next year? So the Lord gave me some certain instructions, I need to serve in this way and that way. And what I saw was that he wanted me to bring some foreigners into my house, people that were in addiction, steeped in addiction. I had seen them from afar, but we're not friends. I knew them in the neighborhood, where we grew up, but we were not friends. But I felt so strongly that the Lord wanted me to bring them into the house and rehabilitate them for 3 months. So this was an instruction given to newlyweds. I struggled with it myself, but after struggling, I said, "Oh Lord, if it's you, then my wife has to agree, because if she does not agree, then there is no unity. It can't work." And I went out of my prayer closet and I spoke to her. Of course, initially she was apprehensive, but it didn't take long before she agreed and said, "If it's the will of God, we will do it." That's the first year of our marriage, barely 3 months. And it happened that way. And she has been consistent in following me and being faithful to the voice of God. And because of that, our marriage has been devoid of friction. To say, "Oh, I want to do God's will and you're not allowing me." It has never happened. Whether we are giving, whether we are serving, however, she has always been faithful.
This union has drawn me closer to God, because I grew up in a house, a Christian home, I would say, but I wasn't exactly so close to God like that. But then being married to him has helped me have a better relationship with God. And I think being married has helped me grow. That's helped me be more mature. I'm now a mother. I have 2 children to cater for. I have a husband to take care of. I have a home to take care of. And I think it has mentally, made me more mature.
One of my fathers in the Lord gave me this advice. He said that if you want to prove that you are a man of God, then it has to take time. People have to see it in your family and the way you deal with your family. So I may have many, many invitations, but sometimes I deliberately turn down some invitations so that I can spend time with my family. I always put my family first, because if I'm preaching the gospel, then I must preach the gospel to my family as well. They are human beings as well. So I found out that it is good to be a family man in every sense of the word. It has really helped me. It has made me mature. It's not about going here and there to preach the gospel, but to preach to those people that are closest to you. If they cannot feel the impact of my ministry, then my ministry is null and void. If others are saying, he's a blessed guy, a blessed man of God, but the people in my family are saying, he's an absent father, then who am I?
Please don't forget to like and subscribe.